Listen to me carefully. Not everyone who talks about you deserves your attention. Some people are not talking to you. They are talking at you. Their words are not meant to teach you. They are meant to berate you. And the most powerful response you can give them is now anger, now tears, but silence. Because silence is not weakness. It is your declaration of self-respect. Queens don't bark back at barking dogs. They simply keep walking, head high, crown steady. Your energy is the most valuable currency you have. People talk a lot about time being precious, but time without energy is useless. Imagine having 24 hours in a day but feeling drained, tired, and emotionally empty. You wouldn't achieve anything meaningful. That is why you must guard your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your happiness, your peace, your dreams, your goals, they all depend on where you spend your energy. Every thought you allow into your mind, every conversation you engage in, every battle you choose to fight is either adding to your life or draining it. And most of the people who try to hurt you are not worth the electricity of your thoughts. Think about your phone. You charge it overnight and you protect its battery because you know it's useless when it's dead. You turn off apps running in the background. You close things that drain it. But why do you let people drain your emotional battery without question? Why do you allow toxic people to keep running in the background of your life, consuming your mental data until you crash? You are not a public charging station for people's negativity. Stop letting everyone plug into you. Daily life gives you so many moments where you spend energy you didn't need to. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you carry that anger for the next hour. Someone posts a passive-aggressive comment on social media, and you sit there typing paragraphs in your head, wasting energy you could have used to build your dreams. What did you gain? Nothing. You just handed your peace over to someone who doesn't even care about you. Imagine you're at a party. Someone starts gossiping about you, spreading lies. The old version of you might run around defending yourself, arguing, explaining, wasting hours and emotions. But the queen version of you just smiles and lets the lies die on their own. Because you know who you are, and you refuse to let the noise of a small mind drain the power of a big soul. Every person you engage with is either an energy giver or an energy taker. You know this from experience. Think of that one friend who, after you meet them, you feel lighter, happier, inspired. That's an energy giver. And then there's the other one, the one who calls just to complain, just to gossip, just to tell you how miserable everything is. After talking to them, you feel like someone sucked the life out of you. That's an energy taker. And here is the truth you need to hear. Not everyone deserves your emotional investment. Just because someone is loud, dramatic, or persistent does not mean you owe them your reaction. Sometimes it's even family. Yes, it hurts, but some family members are emotional vampires. They know exactly how to push your buttons. They thrive on making you feel guilty or small. You have to recognize this pattern and learn to step back. Protecting your energy does not mean you stop loving people. It means you stop letting them destroy you. When someone insults you, they are looking for a spark. They are trying to hook you into an emotional fight because they feed on that reaction. But if you stay calm, if you smile and walk away, you cut off their supply. Nothing confuses a person more than when you refuse to play their game. They expect anger, they expect tears, they expect drama, give them nothing. That is how you win. Think about social media drama. Someone comments something hateful under your post. The instinct is to reply, defend, argue. But what if you didn't? What if you just deleted, blocked, moved on? You'd save yourself hours of emotional turmoil. That time could be used to create something, learn something, build something that actually matters. Your energy is your power. And if you keep wasting it on arguments, gossip, revenge plots, or defending yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, you will have nothing left for the things that truly matter. You will be tired before you even start working on your dreams. That is how most people stay stuck, not because they lack talent or time, but because they spend all their energy fighting useless battles. When you stop spending energy on the wrong people, something magical happens. You start feeling lighter. You start noticing opportunities. Your creativity comes back. You have more patience for the things you love. You start attracting the right people, those who respect your boundaries, those who celebrate your growth instead of resenting it. Because energy is magnetic. What you put out is what you draw in. If you're constantly putting out anger and reaction, you attract more chaos. If you put out calmness, confidence, and focus, you attract peace and progress. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every day you have a limited number of emotional dollars to spend. Are you spending them on things that grow you? Or are you wasting them on people who never deserved them? Stop making withdrawals that leave you emotionally bankrupt. Invest in yourself first, in your peace, your health, your dreams. Because once your energy is high, once you are operating at your full power, you become unstoppable. And that is the kind of life you deserve. There are people in this world whose entire mission is to see you fall. They may not say it out loud, but their actions scream it. Their comments are designed to cut deep. Their gossip is meant to stain your name. And their jealousy fuels every move they make against you. They are not just unhappy with you. They are unhappy with themselves, and seeing you do well makes them feel worse about their own lives. Their goal is not just to see you stumble, their goal is your downfall. And if you react the way they want you to, you hand them exactly what they are looking for. Picture this, you're at work and you've been putting in long hours doing your best. Suddenly a colleague throws a passive-aggressive comment your way. Wow, you're really trying hard to impress the boss. That's not a compliment, that's a trap. They want you to second guess yourself. They want you to feel guilty for working hard. They want you to tone yourself down so they can feel comfortable. But why should you dim your light just so someone else feels less insecure? Don't give them that pleasure. Smile, keep shining, and keep doing what you're doing. Because the best clapback is proving them wrong with results they cannot deny. In daily life, you'll meet people who poke at your weaknesses deliberately. Maybe it's a so-called friend who constantly reminds you of your past mistakes, not because they care, but because they want to keep you small. Or maybe it's that relative who always compares you to someone better, just to see your face drop. These are not innocent comments. They are calculated attacks meant to break your spirit. They want to see you react, they want to see you cry, they want to feel that power over you. But when you hold your head high and refuse to let their words sink into your heart, you take back your power. Think about social media again. Have you noticed how some people just wait for you to share good news so they can throw in a sarcastic comment? You post a picture of your new car, they say, "Must be nice to have money lying around." You post about your promotion, they reply with, "Hope you can handle the stress." These are not just words. They are subtle attempts to plant doubt in your mind, to make you feel guilty for your success, to make you feel like maybe you don't deserve what you have. And if you let those seeds grow, they will choke your happiness. This is why you must train yourself to filter out that noise. You cannot control what they say, but you can control what you allow into your mind. Even in relationships, this happens more than you think. Some people will deliberately push your buttons to see if they still have control over you. Maybe it's an ex who suddenly messages you, not because they miss you, but because they want to know they can still mess with your emotions. Maybe it's a partner who picks fights right before you're about to have an important day just to throw you off balance. These are power plays. Their goal is to destabilize you so they can feel superior. And every time you rise above it, every time you refuse to let them ruin your day, you become stronger. Life is full of people who secretly root for your failure. It's harsh, but it's true. The moment you start winning, some people stop clapping. The moment you start changing, some people start criticizing. The moment you break free, some people start spreading rumors. It's not because you're wrong. It's because your growth threatens the comfort of their mediocrity. You are living proof that they could do better, but they aren't, and that bothers them. So they try to pull you back down to their level. Don't go back. Don't explain yourself. Don't argue. Keep climbing, because nothing irritates a hater more than seeing you rise despite everything they threw at you. Look at any success story in the world. Actors, entrepreneurs, athletes, they all faced people who wanted to see them fail. Someone told them they weren't good enough. Someone mocked them. Someone tried to close doors in their face. But they kept going. They didn't stop to fight every critic. They didn't waste energy proving their worth to small minds. They let their work speak. And eventually, even the haters had no choice but to watch in silence. When someone's goal is your downfall, the best revenge is not anger, not revenge plots, not even confronting them. It's refusing to give them what they want, refusing to fall, refusing to break, refusing to let their words define you. You hold your head higher, you work harder, you stay focused, and you turn their negativity into fuel. Because nothing is more satisfying than watching the same people who once prayed for your failure sit there shocked at your success. There is a power that very few people ever learn to master, the power of silence. Most people believe that strength is loud, that power means clapping back, shouting, proving a point, or winning an argument. But real strength is quiet, graceful, and controlled. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers. The one who stays calm when the world tries to provoke them is the one truly in control. And if you want to rise above negativity, criticism, and drama, you must master the art of elegant silence. Think about the last time someone insulted you. Maybe it was a stranger online or a colleague at work who said something unnecessary just to get under your skin. Your first instinct was to respond, to defend yourself, to hit back with a sharper comment. But what if you didn't? What if you just smiled, stayed calm, and carried on? That silence would echo louder than any words you could have thrown back. People expect you to fight. People expect you to argue. When you don't, you shock them, you confuse them, and you take away their power over you. Picture yourself in an argument with a family member. They are shouting, raising their voice, trying to get you to lose control. You stay calm, you breathe, you listen, and you respond with quiet dignity instead of anger. What happens? The heat of the argument dies. They are left frustrated because they couldn't drag you down to their level. That is elegant silence, not the silence of fear, but the silence of strength. It's saying, I am so secure in who I am that I do not need to perform for you. In daily life, this shows up everywhere. Someone cuts you off in traffic and flips you off. You could honk, yell, chase them, ruin your whole mood. Or you could take a deep breath and let it go. Elegant silence is choosing peace over pointless battles. It is refusing to let one small moment control your entire day. The person who wronged you probably won't even remember it after 5 minutes. But if you keep replaying it in your head, you are hurting yourself twice. Social media is the perfect place to practice this art. People will comment, criticize, throw shade. Some people just wait for you to post so they can say something negative. Instead of replying to every troll, delete, block, move on. Don't feed the fire. Your silence will say, you do not get access to me. This is why successful people rarely engage in public drama. Because they know every response is free publicity for the person trying to bring them down. Think about relationships. There are times when someone you love says something hurtful. If you immediately snap back, you turn a bad moment into a bigger fight. But if you take a moment, stay silent, gather your thoughts, and then speak calmly, you maintain control of the situation. Silence creates space for the truth to emerge. It gives you time to choose wisdom over impulse. Elegant silence is not about being passive. It is not about letting people walk all over you. It is about knowing when speaking will help and when speaking will only feed the drama. Sometimes saying nothing is the most powerful statement you can make. Sometimes the best way to show someone they no longer matter to you is not to curse them out, not to block them with a dramatic announcement, but simply to disappear from the conversation altogether. In the workplace, this skill can change everything. Imagine being in a meeting where someone tries to embarrass you or downplay your idea. Instead of lashing out defensively, you stay calm, you wait, and you present your point with confidence and grace. Everyone will notice the contrast, their pettiness versus your composure. Silence followed by measured action commands respect. Every time you practice elegant silence, you build inner strength. You start realizing you don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to clap back to prove you are strong. Your calmness becomes intimidating. Your restraint becomes magnetic. People start to wonder, how do they stay so collected? How do they not lose it? And that is when you know you've truly mastered yourself. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. It is letting the noise die on its own while you keep your dignity intact. It is a shield that protects your energy from being wasted. It is the choice to rise above instead of rolling in the mud with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. When you master the art of elegant silence, you stop being reactive and start being unstoppable. You become untouchable not because no one attacks you, but because nothing they say can move you. And that is real power. Pain is not just something you survive. Pain is something you can transform. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every failure, every rejection carries within it the seed of something powerful. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you let it crush you, or will you let it carve you into someone unbreakable? Pain can either become poison or power, and the choice is always yours. The strongest people you admire today are not strong because life was kind to them. They are strong because they learned how to turn pain into fuel. Think about the last time someone broke your heart. You cried, you questioned yourself, you felt like your world was ending. But look closely. Wasn't it that very pain that forced you to grow? It made you realize your worth. It made you set higher standards. It made you focus on yourself. That heartbreak became the fire that burned away the old version of you and gave birth to someone wiser, stronger, and more self-respecting. That is the power of redirecting pain. Instead of letting it destroy you, you let it transform you. In everyday life, we face small pains all the time. You fail a test you studied hard for. You don't get the promotion you were hoping for. Someone you trusted lets you down. The easy choice is to sit in that pain, complain, and feel like a victim. But what if you took all that frustration and put it into action? What if you studied harder, worked smarter, and built yourself so strong that no one could ignore you next time? Suddenly, the pain that was meant to stop you becomes the reason you rise. Look at athletes. Many of them started their journey because they were told they weren't good enough. Someone laughed at them. Someone said they'd never make it. Someone doubted their potential. That pain became the reason they woke up earlier, trained harder, pushed further. And when they finally succeeded, the same people who doubted them had no choice but to respect them. Your pain can do the same for you if you let it. Even in friendships, pain can be powerful. When a friend betrays you, it hurts deeply. But that pain teaches you what loyalty really means. It forces you to look at the kind of people you let into your life. You start valuing those who truly care for you, and you stop entertaining those who are just there for convenience. Pain sharpens your vision. It shows you who's real and who's not. And once you know better, you can build a circle of people who actually support your growth. Pain also has a way of building resilience. Think of the time you were humiliated or underestimated. That sting you felt stayed with you. You had two options, shrink and hide, or rise and prove yourself. The ones who rise are the ones who use pain as their engine. They work silently, they grind consistently, and they come back so strong that the people who once mocked them are left speechless. That moment of pain becomes the very reason they became great. Look at history. Look at every successful figure, from entrepreneurs to actors to leaders. Almost all of them were born out of pain. They were told no. They were told they weren't enough. They faced rejection after rejection, and instead of quitting, they redirected that pain into focus. They let it teach them discipline, let it shape their mindset, let it guide their actions. Pain was their mentor. And if you look at your own life closely, pain has been your mentor too. Every time life hurt you, it was showing you a lesson. Sometimes pain also teaches empathy. When you have been hurt, you understand what it feels like. You become softer with others, kinder, wiser. The very thing that tried to break you ends up giving you depth and compassion. You start using your story to inspire others. You tell them, I've been through this and I came out stronger, so can you. Your pain becomes someone else's hope. When you redirect pain, you take control. You no longer let what happened to you define you. You no longer let other people's cruelty decide who you will become. You use every tear, every sleepless night, every heartbreak as bricks to build your future. Pain stops being a curse and becomes your greatest motivator. It forces you to rise, to fight, to reinvent yourself. And one day, you look back and realize that the worst thing that ever happened to you was actually the best thing. Because it woke you up and pushed you into the life you were meant to live. You protect your phone with a password. You lock your home with keys. You safeguard your money in a bank with multiple layers of security. But when it comes to your mind and your emotions, how many of us leave the door wide open for anyone to walk in, dump their negativity, and mess up our peace? This is why you must build an emotional firewall, a mental security system that filters what enters your mind and heart. Without one, anyone can trigger you, manipulate you, or drain you with one. You decide who gets access, what gets in, and what gets blocked. Think about it. If a stranger came to your door carrying garbage, would you let them dump it in your living room? Of course not. But every day, people dump their anger, their gossip, their opinions, their projections on you. And you carry it. You let it sit in your mind until it smells, until it rots your mood, until it ruins your day. Building an emotional firewall means saying, no, I won't carry what isn't mine. It's refusing to take on negativity that doesn't belong to you. Take a real life example. You're at work and someone is in a bad mood. They snap at you, roll their eyes, throw passive aggressive comments. Without a firewall, you absorb all of it. You start thinking, did I do something wrong? Why are they treating me this way? You carry that tension home and it affects how you talk to your family. But with a strong emotional firewall, you can recognize this has nothing to do with me. They are fighting their own battles. And you don't let it cross your mental threshold. You stay calm and keep your peace intact. In relationships, this becomes even more important. Some people will try to emotionally manipulate you. They will guilt trip you. They will make you feel responsible for their happiness. They will use silent treatment to control you. But if you have an emotional firewall, you can detect manipulation and stop it before it drains you. You don't allow emotional blackmail to dictate your choices. You set boundaries, clear, firm, and unshakable, because people who truly love you will respect your boundaries. And those who don't respect them were never meant to have that level of access to you. Social media is another place where your firewall must be strong. Every time you scroll, you are letting thousands of voices enter your mind. Some of those voices inspire you, but some of them are toxic, hate comments, negativity, endless bad news. If you don't filter them, you end up feeling anxious, jealous, or angry without even knowing why. Building an emotional firewall here means curating what you consume. Unfollow pages that drain you. Block people who attack you. Choose to feed your mind with content that builds you instead of breaking you. A strong emotional firewall also helps you deal with gossip and criticism. People will always have something to say about you, good or bad. If you let every opinion enter your heart, you'll be pulled in 100 different directions. But if you have a filter, you ask yourself, is this feedback constructive? Is it coming from someone who genuinely cares? If yes, take it and grow from it. If not, discard it without guilt. You wouldn't download a virus on your computer. So why download toxic opinions into your mind? Even in daily life, small things can test your firewall. A rude cashier, a nosy neighbor, a driver who cuts you off, they can all ruin your day if you let them. But when your emotional firewall is strong, you pause and choose your response instead of reacting on impulse. You remind yourself, I control my emotions. No one else has the power to make me angry unless I give them permission. That pause is where your power lies. Your emotional firewall must also protect you from your own thoughts. Sometimes the most harmful words are not from others, but from the voice inside.